All right, man, peace. So NBA superstar Kawhi Leonard has finally emerged from his self-imposed exile to inform the NBA world of exactly what his condition is. Of course, he's going to talk about it, and I'm going to chime in.
This just in, at the buzzer, Kawhi Leonard's first public comment since January 13th. Take a listen.
Everything was done as a group. I don't feel like nothing was friction. I talk to Pop every day.
Now listen to what he stated. Kawhi stated that everything was done as a group, meaning he kept open communication with the organization. He states that he does not feel like there was any friction. So in other words, as I stated in the previous two-part series that I did, Popovich was trying to utilize the media to pressure Kawhi into coming back. Am I going to state that he was successful in doing so? No, I'm not. Because I believe that Kawhi understands that he has as much at stake in coming back before the end of the season as the Spurs do. Because he has to show down the stretch of this year that he's deserving of what they call a Supermax contract extension. And once he's able to show that he's still a superstar, he puts the onus on the Spurs to either sign him to that max deal or trade him. That's why I told you, brothers, look out for a mega Kawhi Leonard trade in the offseason if they do not offer him that contract extension, because I expect him to ball out in the latter part of this season into the playoffs. He's going to do his best to show that he is a superstar deserving of that contract. But notice he also said that he spoke to Pop every day. Pop seemed to act like he had not heard from Kawhi when he made that those little comments that he made during his interview, in which he seemed to imply that he believed that Kawhi was going to miss the rest of the season. Well, if there was open communication like Kawhi Leonard is stating here, why would Popovich say what he said? Unless he was trying to psychologically outmaneuver Kawhi or to influence him in a way. I guess we'll find out.
He knew what the project progressions were. He knew what I was doing the whole entire time.
You heard what Kawhi said? He said Popovich knew about his progressions. He knew what he was doing the entire time. So in other words, Popovich was very well aware of what Kawhi's status was during his rehab.
Would you like to finish your career as a Spur?
Yeah, sure.
Dude asked Kawhi, would you like to finish your career as a Spur? He said, yeah, sure. In other words, I'm here to ball out for the remainder of this season, show what I can do in the playoffs, hopefully try to shock Houston and face Golden State in the Western Conference Finals and let the chips fall where they may. Either way, if we lose, I'm going to put up good enough numbers to force San Antonio's hand in the offseason. Either way, the ball's in my court. No pun intended. Because I'm either going to get my money here or I'm going to get my money somewhere else. That's why he said, yeah, sure. What that basically translates to is, I'll be here as long as they pay me. If not, I'm leaving.
Coming back soon, and yeah, sure, I could be a Spur for the rest of my career. What do you guys think?
I mean, I think that he answers it like a guy who doesn't talk to the media a lot.
He answered like a guy who really doesn't give a shit. Who's in the league and understands that it's about money. That's how he answered it to me.
Trust is the hardest thing to engender between player and team in sport, even the Spurs.
And your point is?
My point is it's fragile. Relationships between teams and players are really, really fragile. Hard to manage.
So we'll be watching then.
Well, the problem really is that the media is trying to create this dynamic between players and franchises where trust should be a parameter. Trust is not a parameter in business. You either can do what you claim you can do so that you can prove that you deserve the contract that you're stipulating according to what your alleged market value is, or you can't do it. And that's truly all it's about. And that's why it is incumbent upon the superstar players to always press for the quote-unquote supermax. Because you never want to create a dynamic between yourself and your quote-unquote employer where they can take you for granted monetarily. It's never about trust. It's not about trust. It's about what is contractually obligated by both sides. And many of these players allow themselves to become emotionally attached to franchises and cities when they should not. You sign a contract because you're basically a contractor. That's what you are. So you have to approach it like that so that you don't end up crying in front of your locker when you're told that you got traded to Cleveland or Dallas or Atlanta or any of these other outposts. It is what it is. But we'll see what happens with Mr. Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi seems to be mature enough now that he's under the tutelage of his uncle to grasp that he needs to come back to show not just the Spurs, but the entire league that he is a supermax player. Basically, the latter part of this season into the playoffs will be a tryout for him to show these teams that I'm over this quadriceps issue that I had, and I can still dominate. I'm still a top 4 player in the NBA. But anyway, peace.